Okay, so happiness equation. Happiness is greater than or equal to events minus expectations. So one, I guess, issue with this idea, issue in inverted commas, that I've never quite been able to square is the response of, does that therefore mean that we should just have low expectations for everything in life and, you know, always think of life with a slightly pessimistic outlook so that whatever happens, then it's a surprise and it's a good thing? And when people say that to me, I kind of think, yes, yes, asterisk. Well, I don't know what the asterisk is.
If your target in life is to be happy, okay, honestly, then lower expectations will make you happier.
Okay.
So if you basically tell yourself, I know many friends in my life that decided that they've had enough of life, the fast-paced lives. They went and lived in the Dominican Republic, and the only thing that would make them unhappy on a day is that there is not enough wind to kite surf.
Right.
Okay, and they make enough money to live a very simple life, and they want to kite surf. That's it. Their expectations are very low. They don't expect a Ferrari. They don't expect to be able to live in a big city. They don't want to go to museums. The expectations are low. And apply that to anything. You go to India, and if many people, hundreds of millions of people, don't expect to eat today, give them a bowl of rice, and they're very happy. So if your target is happiness, that's the way to go. Okay. If your target is success and impact on life, however, you need to go the opposite way.
Okay.
And the opposite way is, I need ambition. So when I wrote Solve for Happy at the beginning, I wrote it with the mission of 10 million happy.
Yeah.
And then 10 million happy happened very quickly, and my team got together and said, maybe we should set a bigger target. So we didn't set 11, we didn't set 100 million, we set 1 billion happy. Now, 1 billion happy is a crazy target to have. How many people in the world have reached 1 billion people, right? But it's a nice, ambitious a target to aspire to. So when I wake up in the morning, year one, when we've achieved another 10 million or so, I don't tell myself, that's it, we've achieved, we're done. I say to myself, there is still a way to go, there is still more to do. Okay, but now, so you're stuck between those two extents, if you want. One that says, have no expectation at all and you'll be happy, and the other says, have extremely high expectations and you'll be successful. What's the problem with the modern world is that we believed in this and not that. The problem with the modern world is when you're growing up, I'm sure, I don't know your mom, but your mom told you success is more important than happiness. Go thrive in life.
Or that success leads to happiness.
Or that success leads to happiness, right? So we believe that. While it's not true. I mean, how often do you meet someone who's successful and rich and famous and swimming in money and everyone's attracted to them and paparazzis are all around them and they're miserable? Okay, success doesn't always lead to happiness. Now, between those two, there is a midpoint, like everything in life, which is, I need a realistic expectation. A realistic expectation is not lowered than how it should be, and it's not higher than how it should be. I need an ambition that is higher than the realistic expectation, and I need a contentment that sometimes even my realistic expectation might be missed. Okay, and in that case, while I aim for a realistic expectation and a high ambition, I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm trying to be successful, and at the same time, I'm contented as I go through that path when life misses my expectations sometimes.
Ooh, sick. Okay, this is nice. So I have this dilemma when it comes to the book that I'm working on, which is the dilemma of what should be my ambition for the book. When it comes to writing, one of the classic accolades is hitting the New York Times bestseller list. And so I have this as a very clear thing, like, okay, if I was being, quote, ambitious about this, I would be like, hey, I want the book to be a New York Times bestseller. But there's something about that like when I sit down to write, it, in a way, it doesn't feel good. It feels like almost demotivating because that's a thing that's outside of my control. Whereas when I think of it as the objective of this book is, I want to write a book I'm proud of, and I want to enjoy the journey along the way. That's a very kind of contentment-y type goal rather than an ambitious type goal, I think. And when I lean towards that, then I feel, oh, it's all good. I feel the parasympathetic kind of activation rather than the sympathetic activation, which is what I feel for the more ambitious goal. Now, I think this is great because then I can optimize for happiness and just write the book that I want. But then part of me wonders that, like, am I missing something by not going for a more ambitious goal, by not putting a number on it and saying, I want to get 1 million sales, I want to get 3 million sales, because sales translates to impact on the one hand, but also more money and all of the other selfish desires on the other hand. Any thoughts about that particular conundrum?
Lots of thoughts. Okay, so I want to cover this in, if you'll allow me, in 2 layers.
Fantastic.
So layer 1 is a very, very important definition. Okay, we're video gamers. So I always say life is like a video game, and we can come back to that conversation in a minute. But if life is a game, there are 2 types of games that are defined.
Yep.
One is an infinite game,
Yep.
and the other is a finite game. A finite game is a game where there is a target, a destination, and a win. Okay? An infinite game is like Pac-Man. Have you ever checked your score when you were playing Pac-Man? No. The purpose of Pac-Man was to play Pac-Man for as long as you're playing Pac-Man. Okay? And then sometimes you lose, and then you play again. There is no very few people who are trying to be world champions on Pac-Man, and so they were monitoring the score. Life is an infinite game because the finite bit of it is when you die and you're no longer playing. That's it. So as long as you're in this game, your target is what? Is to play. Interestingly, it's not to achieve anything. So the most interesting part of life is, for most of us who are highly engaged in the modern world, if you remove the target, suddenly everything becomes okay. Everything becomes so enjoyable.
Yeah.
I write, honestly, Ali, I write to write.
Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, then click here for the full unedited episode. And if you like that, then do please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.